Hey, greetings, Jedi traders. David here, tradingfibs.com to bring you the weekly trend for September 15th, 2019. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. Support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day or week. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing trade. All right, we are headed into rollover week as volume has already rolled over on the majority of the contracts in the futures indices and Quad Witch Friday. Now, one of my favorite weeks is we're still split between the two contracts. I like when all volume returns to the one contract, but be it as it is, let's take a look at the charts as we head into the week. Volume of the summer pretty much has come to an end as markets wakening up here. Again, highlights this week, FOMC meeting, looking for a rate cut. So price action, let's take it again. As we said last week, talking about the pullback here, we're looking at the Heikin-Ashi bars trending up. We'll start with the NQ here as price action here on the 5 bars gave us an entry at the beginning of September with a small pullback to the VWAP. Still holding up, and when we take a look at the two side by side, noting the technical setups from the MML lows here off the 200 MA as price action managed to squabble its way back up with a lot about a chop. 10 now above the 50 as the NQ hits the short-term resistance zone up here in the overbought and pulls back to the major support on the short resistance, or the short MML here. As you can see, about a week time frame here. So again, we go back to summer trading, the crossover on the NQ of the 2050. 2050 looks to be pulling back upside as the 2050 MA trend still in a downtrend as you get the crossover, but the pullback definitely based on both the slopes. 10 above the 50. So all indicators on the NQ, we got an uptrend on the momentum long term. The short trend is an uptrend with a small pullback here. Heikin-Ashi bars, momentum is still upside. We have the 2050 watching for that crossover will give us another technical trend upside. The 10 above the 50, prices above the VWAP, prices above the 200 MA. How can we say that this market is coming down in any way? But again, there's always resistance, there's always pullbacks as we climb up, as we take a look at the all-time highs. Still not too far above here, but again, it's all based on trade management at this point. Again, if you're holding on to a contract, you got about another week to either hold on to this or liquidate your position. Best option might be to just place a stop at the swing low here if you've been holding on for the majority of the time. Looking to reignite a new position, I'd wait till the contract rolls out, or at least let's get through next week, unless we show another trending bar on the Heikin-Ashi bars, and that I'll always allude to through the week through one of my posts online. You can catch that. So again, still maintaining a very strong uptrend on the NQ from both a Heikin-Ashi bar, a momentum, as well as an MML. But again, we see the pullback here. I'd like to see 5 bars back in the white to regain that momentum upside. Let's take a look at the ES here as we roll out the contracts. Very beautiful trend here, much cleaner than the NQ on the ES. We've had a 5 bar in sync since back here in September. Again, we had the pullback, the initial setup back here as the ES continues to move upside. The setup was at 29.44. All right, so we have 29.44. Let's go ahead and draw that line. It was about right here on the second bar, at 29.44ish, 29.45. Confirmation on the second bar. 5 bars. We haven't even had a pullback here on the ES's price action. Again, off the MML lows back here in the end of August and moving upside. So MMLs, again, we're still on the long term. We're still in the uptrend. As we move up to the reversal up here, you can see the MMLs again, all-time highs, still back up here around above 30.27. Breaking, sitting above short term. We're looking for a reset here on the short term to give us some higher levels. So right now, that reversal 30.27 is pretty hard line in the sand. But again, Heikin-Ashi bars are always the momentum trend. So if we continue to push higher, we follow the Heikin-Ashi bars to give us the trend, and then we look for the levels for trade management on the chart on the right. As we said last week, we broke that 61.8% fib. We haven't looked back since then. 2050, like the NQ there, we got again, we had a downtrend pullback now as we're both sloping up, looking for the crossover to give us another technical momentum upside. Price action off the MML support. We're again up above the VWAP. We're above the 200 MA. So all 5-bar confirmation upside with trending H bars holding between overbought and reversal. So very strong trend. All right. So as we go into the week, let's take a look at the economic calendar. Again, we have FOMC here on Tuesday. Let's get to the right week here. Yep. FOMC here. Meeting begins on the 17th. Sorry about that. FOMC forecast with the meeting announcement, Fed Chair Conference, all that comes out on Wednesday. So looking at a possible rate cut. Existing home sales, a couple Red Star events on Thursday, and then Quad Witch Friday to expire all these contracts. Again, as we sit over the weekend here, looking for crude to make a move as tax in Saudi Arabia. On the oil fields, algos will probably react and send crude flying high. We'll have to see how that opens here for Sunday open. Again, not anything big as far as earnings are concerned. Looking for earnings. Brexit again in the window. China trade deal, always a possibility of making the market move. But really, small caps are leading the way higher. Let's take a look at... Let's take a look again, as in any day. This is the short. This is the longer term picture. Again, you could swing size position this, but as we talk about here in the trading room, always looking for the intraday move is a possibility. Again, chop, not one of my favorites, but again, opportunities. Here's a nice trend that happened this week here on our Remembrance Day 9/11. Is price action lifted here. Always looking. So if you're looking for just the day position. Again, same standard, same setup, one market, one strategy here. Looking for the Heikin-Ashi bars trending. Looking for the confirmation down below on the crossover. Price above VWAP, price above the cloud, 51.44. And you got yourself a nice trend for the day. Doesn't happen every day, as we saw here on 9/12. Really didn't get going, so you just sit still. You don't do anything. Same thing here on Friday. All right. Let's see what else we got going. All right, one of the things I like to do each week is read the IBD newspaper, look at the psychological markers, psychological market, indicators. Here you can see under the market trend, a couple of varying studies here, some of them proprietary. But again, when you take a look at the overall market volatility, we know VIX is pretty low now. Again, whether you want to watch the daily, looking for the swings here above the moving averages. I tend to like to look at the monthly picture here, as we can see the big swings to the upside. Again, if something you're following, this is a great indicator. I tend to just take a look at that, but high-low ratio, another good indicator here. Rebounding from corrections during bull markets. Again, if you have a subscription here, obviously you can. If you don't, you could read the indicator when the indicator is shown in its first update after crossing below a 0.05. You can look for a possible short bottom, but this indicator, again, useful in bull markets or uptrend, as we can see price action. Again, when we get up to this level 2, you can see that this can last here for anywhere from 4 to 5 months. So again, when we're looking at the news, or you're hearing the news and hearing, oh, recession coming, oh, markets coming in a downtrend, together with these market overall indicators, again, nothing ever a guarantee, but take that and combine that with the technical MMLs and the Heikin-Ashi bars, you get a little bit of extra confirmation that you're in the right move, as price on this indicator is showing that we continue to be in a pretty strong move to the upside, even though we have to deal with the chop. Again, margin debt, really big picture here, has really been an indicator of showing the top in major market tops. Again, the last one pretty much in 2007. We almost peaked that again in 2009-10. But when I see numbers here below zero again, I'm not so concerned that we're really this market is ready to turn around and come back downside. So again, margin debt, another great indicator. Bulls versus Bears crossover, the last one here back in December last year. It didn't last very long, so pretty much a bullish market to the bear indicator. And then the put call ratio, another nice indicator. Puts traded on any day. A reading above 1.15 can confirm maybe a short-term positive reversal, and so we're back down. So again, when you take these psychological market indicators and you put them up against this kind of chart, to me, yes, pullbacks can occur, but we're pretty strong to the upside. So again, we got FOMC coming out. ECB is stimulating again. Mortgages are cheap. Retail sales are good. We're watching the bond funds falling. Bears say they'll fall more. But again, if you're in any kind of plan like the Jason Kelly 3 Sig, you're using your bond funds to deal with price fluctuation. And again, you can capture some of those insights in the weekly blog as I post here on tradingfibs.com. All right, Jedi traders, that's an insight into this week's daily trend, technical momentum as I see it on my charts. Feel free to stop by here at tradingfibs.com, any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. The mantra really is one simple strategy, any market. You can apply this to any chart, any time frame. I like the higher time frames. Need to adapt. Been doing this for a while and always looking for a better clean strategy, and eliminating the noise. You can find me every day on Twitter at Trading Fibs. And as always, I really do leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only watch what's in front of me on my charts. And as always, leave your buys at the door when trading. Hey guys, have a great week. It is quad witching week, and looking forward to all the volume returning in the next contract. Peace out, guys.